Hey guys, this is Eric from TopFlight Trades. Today is December 8th. It is. This is a quick catch up. I've been gone for a while, as you could probably tell, and I wanted to have a chance to kind of come back on here and say hello and see how things are going, get caught up a little bit in what's going on, take a look at some stocks and what I'm playing. And of course, I'll tell you a little bit about what's going on. So, one of the main things is I work also for state government, and this summer we had a lot of fires and everything like that, and I got pulled away with some fires throughout the state. I work in recovery, and so when we have these fires and these disasters, I go out and work with that, and I've been called out. We've had 2 disasters this fall, including a third one that's upcoming, so my time has been extremely limited. So anyways, I'm still playing the markets. You can find me over at InvestFeed primarily, and over at StockTwits a bit, but I don't have time to spend creating the videos and upkeeping the site the way I've wanted to. So I've kind of had to put it on hold a little bit, but I wanted to give an update on what's going on. So first off, what I'm going to do is we'll just dive right into the charts here. I have quite a few stocks to look over. I'll tell you what I'm looking at, what I'm playing, what's going on, and we'll go from there. And then I'll catch up again in the end to kind of talk about where you can find me, where I'd love to catch up with you at, and that type of thing. So all right, so the first thing we're going to look at here is we're going to look at the S&P 500. This is a daily chart. You can see this chart's going all the way back to April. Looking back here, really this last spring here was really a changer for me. I'd pretty much had a bull outlook all along for the longest time. Again, looking at our big pullback we last had was all the way back in October 16th. Since we recovered, found new highs. And it wasn't until we got to about June 19th that I finally took a bearish stance on the markets. And where was June 19th? Right back here. It was this guy here. We failed to make a new high. And I was pretty cautious with that. I didn't, close out all my longs. But I did start some short positions on that at that point. Did pretty well in the next few weeks there. And it kind of came up again and came back up to that level again, and it failed to make another new high back here. And so once again, that still confirmed we were not going up. Okay. And we really weren't making an ascending triangle pattern. It really wasn't kind of consolidating or really tightening up through here as it was knocking on the door. It was just looking pretty sloppy and all over the place. And we've been trading sideways, here since February, So there was a lot of, also at the time, on our site, we had Timberlake was around, and he was pretty bearish while I was bullish. And, looking at the way the markets turned, I started to see what he was saying. And again, failed to make new highs. Simple as that. So I had taken some short positions, quite a few. And by this point, out here in July, I was mostly short. I had quite a few put contracts out there, and I had a few calls, but mostly on the put side. I was quite convinced at that point. And I was thinking September was going to be a wild month, but right before September hit, of course, we had this. And here you can see the S&P pull all the way down to where was the low down here? 182 on SPY here. Kind of recovered a bit. I wasn't convinced. I was pretty convinced we're going to just continue downward. Made a killing right here. This was just something I was really fortunate, really very, very fortunate to have taken more on the short side here before this fallout, before the breakdown. My problem was I still maintained a lot of those. I took a lot of profits off the table, but I also bought more puts, and I expected a bounce. We got a little bounce, but it didn't continue further. We did not make lower lows. So I ended up getting caught up in here a bit. And then we made a higher high. Then we got some hope, and it pulled back again. But still, it did not make a lower low. And so I was kind of messy in here. And then, of course, we most recently had this final run back up to these levels again. And it wasn't until back up in here probably that I got back into started some call positions again. And by this point, I was about 50-50. Still unclear where we're going. I don't think anybody can really tell. Now, of course, what we can do is we can look at the technicals. And, it's easy to look back and kind of see. But, again, we were climbing. I really wasn't expecting this solid run without a pullback, but it did. Looking at the S&P now, of course, we came back up to this level up here. You can see we can easily connect those points right along here. It's just a descending line, kind of bounced right off it. Came down here to the moving averages, hit it again, just up in the last week, bounce off it, and here we are again. So that's the S&P. Now take a look at the RSI. You see the RSI back here on this, the August 24th, 25th area. We've come all the way down to this low here. And if you draw the line, you can even draw the line up here and see where we peeled back here. But, we've reached this point, here, and I've been watching it here. You can see we just pierced it a bit, and now we're back at it. So we'll kind of see what happens here in the next few days. The next indicator I'm using down here is the RMI. This one is, I'm using TradingView right now. So this one that they have on here is made by the Lark. It's a relative momentum indicator. I've been using the RMI quite a bit. I kind of find it pretty neat. Again, I'll pick up an indicator, use it for a while, see how I like it, just kind of learn them. There's no super hidden secret with it. Just another indicator I like to learn. Some of them perform a lot better than others, and some of them are a lot easier for me to understand, a lot easier to read, and a lot funner to play with. But I do like the RMI. But you can see here in the RMI as well. Back here in August, we've come down to this point here, touched it again, and what are we doing? We're coming right down to it again. We're going to hold it, or we're going to break through. So that's the S&P. So that's where we're at. And so again, I was able to play this on the downside, clean up, but then I took some losses as we climbed back up here. I didn't put enough. I wasn't convinced that we were climbing all the way back up, but we did start to make new highs, and I added calls and just didn't make as much money as I did going down as I could have. So let's take a look at the Dow here real quick. Okay, Dow, same kind of thing. You can see we got this resistance line up top. You can see we kind of broke through it here, but it's pretty good line we have here. You can see we've hit it at 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, 5 points, 6 points. And again, this line just is sloping downward. We'll see where we're at now. I haven't drew all over the RSI yet, but I kind of see, what's that tell us right there? We heading downward some more, or we could come down here and see what it's going to do. So then we have, of course, the RMI, which I like. Keep an eye on the RMI. And the RMI, if you haven't really used it, you can see its color. When the momentum shifts, it goes from red to blue. It's not going to let me draw that. All right. It goes red to blue. So I don't know, something like that. All right. Anyways, that's the Dow. Same thing. We're not making new highs right now, you see. See, that's the thing I'm trouble with. I mean, we had a hell of a run here, just like in the S&P, but we're not making new highs. Even here in the last few weeks, still not making a new high. And now we're down. Take a look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ looks a little bit different. I forgot to take off my other lines I had drawn on here. Let me delete these because they're old and not very relevant right now. But you can see we've come up to this level here. Let me draw a line here. This line is definitely more horizontal. Right there, 5150 mark. Poke through it. Same kind of thing. We're holding it, but now we're kind of coming down off it. So we'll see what kind of pattern we get out of it. Again, let's take a look at the RSI. Same kind of pattern. We're right down here. Take a look at that. What do you say? There we go. Something like that. Let's take a look at the RMI. RMI shows we might have a little bit more room to go. Well, if you want to call it that or what. But either way, that's the NASDAQ. So, okay, so what I'm going to go into now, I'm just going to go through some of the stocks that I have been playing, mostly on the downside. I do have some picks that are long. My confidence in them is not very strong, and so I'm not pushing out a lot of long picks right now. Again, overall, as I just showed you, the markets are not making new highs right now. I mean, we're all over the place. We're up or down, but we're not making new highs. I expect to move to the downside until we start making new highs and we start breaking out and moving to new territory. We'll see. But that's probably not going to happen until next year, of course. But who knows? So what I'm going to go over is I'm going to go over a lot of the bearish calls I've been looking at, and a lot of them I've been playing. So all these, again, are short positions. And I'll shoot through a few that I've been looking at here in the last week or two, and you can see that they've actually done well. I have not played a lot of these, but I'll give you a quick run. There's a few. And then I'll go over actually some of the positions I'm in right now. So real quickly here, let's take a look. We have Angie's List. This thing had climbed pretty much for the most part, just got, way overbought. I mean, we're just peaking on this thing, expecting a pullback. I don't know what day it was. I don't have it written down in front of me, but back up in this area, I was expecting a pullback. I did not play this. We did get a little pullback right now. We'll see how far it pulls back. ANF. Okay. ANF, here's Abercrombie Fitch. I was playing this. I had some puts on this one, and I got in back in here. Thing traded sideways, went up, and actually had finally broken down, and I sold early. I essentially broke even on this thing and got out just in time. And it wasn't a day or two after I got out, hit earnings, and this thing took off. I would have been cleaned out. I had quite a few dollars on this one. And I had been down for a lot of the time. I wasn't getting the movement out of it. And I was down like 50% on it, right at my mark. Then I had this pop up here, and I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. I'm going to lose all that money. And it gave it back to me. And I think I actually cleared like 4%. I mean, it was nothing, but it was pretty good for the amount of money that I had down. So anyways, and it popped the next day. I was really glad to get out of that. We have energy. I own some puts on this. How did I do? Energy. I had January 15 puts on it, and I sold it a little too early. Sold it at 62% gain. I think I sold it right here this day. Let me zoom in again. This is my box I just had drawn. It's kind of a target area. Primarily, the target area is up here. That might break even. I had bought the 15 puts. And again, considering commissions and the premium, this is my break even. I finally got it. You can see, and I dipped down in it good and took my profits off the table. Was feeling a little uneasy on the markets. Of course, the next day, I believe it was this day here, and it was down quite a bit. Could have made another few $100s, but that's all right. I'm not going to argue it. I got my money. It was a profit, so I'm good with that. SWC. I own some puts on this one as well. I bought it up here, rode it all the way down here. I bought my puts were a little too expensive. I think that the IV was a little strong or something, but it cleared into my my profit zone, and the profits really weren't there. And I think I pretty much broke even on it, and I got out. Not very good timing on my part. You can see this thing is again traded sideways, and recently it's just taken the dump here, and it's back down here in the almost new lows. Yeah, pretty much near new lows. But again, that's one to watch. Back here on the 7th of December, these are a few stocks that I was watching. Today's the 8th, so yesterday. So we'll see how these did. So CNX, this company stinks more than anything in the world. You can see this thing, we've been watching it. It popped up a little bit. And we're looking for a pullback. It was trading about $9. It's now down to about $6.50. So that's a pretty good gain there. If you played it, I expect this thing to continue downward. Let's look at the weekly on this one. You can see it's been just trending downward for quite a while. Not looking good with oil down to $37 a barrel. Financials in these companies they're really struggling. I understand they're taking on a lot of debt just to stay alive, just to keep the cash flow, to have cash flow, and they're going to run into some real trouble here in the next few months. I'm sure a lot of these energies. PGY, Stone Energy Corp. I missed out on this one. You can see we're trading up in here. It finally broke through, popped pretty good. So you pretty much got to run from $7 down to $4.86. Would have been a really nice run. I did not play this one. As you can see, I get a lot of these stocks in my watch list every day, and a lot of them move very strongly. I can't play all of them, unfortunately. CZZ, this is one we're watching here for the last couple of days, and we finally got a good move out of it. You see the volume is extra strong today. This thing's down again. You know, these are pretty low price stocks. If you're going to play, if you can short these pennies, essentially, that might be fine. I've been playing options on them, just pretty much buying puts and calls, keeping it pretty simple. But I'm not going to get much movement out of this. You know, it's only down, 40 cents, 30 cents. But it is one that is ready to come back down, and we'll see if it falls beneath the moving averages there. You can see it's coming down to the 50-day moving average right now. and it's just under the 100-day moving average. So that's CZZ. Next, we're going to look at CDZI. CDZI, currently at $4.11. It's made the list yesterday. You see it climbed up a bit, pretty much hit its top. We're at about 450. It's now pulled back the last few days. You can see the range is getting tighter. You can see the RSI starting to curl over a bit. RMI is high. It's starting to curl over a bit. See if we can get it to turn around there. Imagine if it falls back down, it might follow the 50-day moving average all the way down. We could see it back down to threes by the end of the year. Who knows? But keep an eye on CDZI. Next, we have FTK, Flowtech. I really wish I would have gotten to this. This breakdown, it went from 18 all the way down to $9. So it's a good 50% drop in a couple of days. Wish I would have played that. But we'll keep an eye on this one. I don't think this company's fundamentally strong enough. I don't think there's enough momentum or relative strength to get this thing to climb back up and fill that gap back up to 14s. It's not looking like it's going to do that. So keep an eye on that one. The other one we're watching is CVA. You can say CVA, what is this? Covanta Holding Corp. You can see we pretty much ran up pretty good here and needed to pull back, and it pulled back pretty good about 3 or 4 days and went from $16 down to $15. So yeah, good $1.50 in 2 or 3 days. That's pretty good. We'll see what it does here. You can see we're just right at its new low. So it's I think it's a new low, a new recent low. Anyways, I mean it's at the same area. Got is low, met a 52-week low, so got as low as 1468 right here today. So not looking very good, I would say right now. It's a utility outfit. SIEN. SIEN. Okay. This is another one to watch. Pretty tight trading range on this one. The volume is only at 653,000 shares a day. That's low for me. But I think this is going to be a pretty good play. See the earnings last quarter, they lost 43 cents a share versus an estimate of 33 cents a share. And we're just sitting there holding underneath the moving average. So we'll see what they do here. And yeah, very low volume, very tight range. Probably not a very good, fun thing to play. ACTG. The Kasha Resh? I don't know. Okay. What are we doing with this one? Basically looking for a pullback here. Love to see us get back down here to 5. It's currently at 617. See if we can drop $1, come back to about 520 or not, or less. Just made my list yesterday. Then we had TREX, TROX. I talked about this, and all these I'm listing over at InvestFeed. If you ever go to over investfeed.com, you'll see me there. Currently ranked number 1 over there. We got a lot of good traders over there that show all their trades as they make them. I post all my watch lists over there and trades over there every morning, so you can see that. TREX made the list a couple of days ago, just in time for this big drop here. Was about $6. Now we're down to $4.24. So expect this thing to continue. It's made new lows. You can see it's not making higher highs or higher lows, it's making lower lows and higher lows, lower lows. So we're trending downward right now. So it's going to continue that. We might get a little bit of bounce to it. I don't think we're going to break 5 again anytime soon. I think it's going to continue, but we'll only have to wait and see, I guess. Okay, so next what we're going to do is this weekend I also posted bottom 200 stocks on the market. If you're really looking for some dogs you want to play that just absolutely fundamentally stink, there's horrible financials, there's no relative strength, there's no investor demand behind them, they have horrible product, they're not making any money. I mean, it's everything about a company that absolutely stinks you wouldn't put $1 into. These are them. So I'm going to shoot through the list really quick here. I'm really pretty much starting with the 200th, the bottom of the list. It's LXU. I won't get in to explain why LXU. Is that right? LXU, I guess it is. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, take a look at what this thing's done. Take a look at this stock here. So just back here in May, it was up at $48 and it's currently down to 6. Okay. Got some tight sideways trading action there. This thing again, see the average volume is low at 617,000. We'll keep an eye on that. But very poor company. I'm not saying there's technically a place to enter right now unless you like this tight range and just waiting for a pop. You're going to pretty much wait for a pop on the upside or downside, break up or break down. I don't know, but a little too tight trading range for me. But sometimes that's just a setup that some of you people like to play. Anyways, that's that. Now here's one of my favorites, Freeport McMoran. I've been playing Freeport McMoran since back here in June. Here's my arrow. I think that's when I got in one time. I've bought so many puts on this and made so much money on this thing. The one time I didn't make money on the contract was in this run here. Back here, this is back in October. That's when Carl Icahn came out and claimed he had a 11 or 17% stake in the company. And of course, everybody got excited. This thing ran up, and we all knew darn well that thing's going to pull back. Just injecting some new cash into a company, one that's losing money hand over fist, doesn't mean it's going to save itself and have enough cash flow to operate and become profitable. And certainly it's not. So since then, it's gone from $14 down to today closed at $6.74. Again, I've bought puts along the way. I even did buy a call in here. I don't think I did very well on it. But yeah, FCX, I'm sure a lot of you are aware of it. Where's this thing going to head? Geez, I can only say downward. We might come down here and kind of base out a little bit. We got earnings coming up in 48 days. We're expecting a 2-cent loss. And I think they're going to miss it because I don't see how things are improving for their markets, for China, for oil, for copper. This price estimate, earnings estimate has to be adjusted. It seems pretty crazy to me, but I'm not a fundamental guy, so what do I know? Anyways, that's FCX. Next, we have TCS, Container Store Group. I looked at getting into this back in here, never did. Could have been a nice run down here from $11 to 10, approximately. I'm expecting this thing to continue its run downward. You can see this thing's just been for quite a while, since 2014. Since the beginning of 2014, this thing's just taken a big turd the whole way down. So, you want to look for a trend. This looks like a slide. You're a little kid. You want to just ride your bike down it and slide down it or ride down it and jump it or whatever. Not good. So, I think you'd be pretty foolish if you think the second you get in down here, this thing's going to take off, reverse, and start climbing again. Just always look at the trend. Trends can change, but don't fight the trend. So I would bet certainly this is again going to find new lows, new lows, new lows, new lows. You're going to see lower lows, lower highs, over and over and over. And there's still room to go. This thing's at $10 right now. This is going to go down to $5. Be a quick $5. Buy some puts on it. I think this is optional. You buy some puts on it, and you can just do well. All right. I'll shoot some more of these soon. SunEdison, same thing. Look at this run. This thing was climbing pretty good. We got up in here until July. Finally, late July, this thing took a dump and went from 31 down to 15 in 2 weeks? Now we're down to $3.45. I don't know how many times I was going to play this down the way, but I thought it was just done. But again, what do you know? You think it's sliding down? It's easy to fall apart. But you look back at the previous levels back in 2012, it was down to $1.37. I probably expect it to come back down to those levels again. So you could say it's going to drop another $2. So we'll keep an eye on that. SunEdison. Next, we have EV Energy Partners. Currently priced at $2.38. You're not going to be able to do much with this, but except watch it continue to fall out of control to the ground to its death. Next, UPL Petroleum, Ultra Petroleum, $3 a share, garbage. Again, these are the worst companies out there in the market. And you got BTU, Peabody Energy, currently at $10. It's starting to kind of want to base out a little bit here, but you zoom in a bit. No, not really. Got some tight range, good volume, 3.35 million average shares a day traded. You can see it's starting to break down slowly, surely. We have earnings in 48 days. Low and estimated $7.99 a share loss. Holy crap. Oh my. Okay. I think I'm going to short this one. I'm writing this one down. This one's that's not going anywhere except to the grave, if you ask me. We'll see. Carl Icahn will probably step in and declare he's gonna buy 40% of the company, and it'll shoot back up to $40. We'll see. All right. Next we have TCK. I've played this before. I played this run back in here. Should have played this run right here. Never did. Again, we're now down to $3.51. A lot of volume on this. We got nearly 9 million shares traded per day. Again, we're finding new lows. Metal mining, basic materials. So you know where we're going with that. And then we have, I can't read my own writing on that one. Just a few more here. CHK. Everybody knows about Chesapeake, right? Okay. Up 3% today. Not looking very good. 440 is the current closing price. Good volume of 20 million shares per day. Next, we have SXC. I was in this. Did fair, I think. Nothing to write home about. Had some puts. I didn't get in on this, I don't think. I don't remember. Anyways, SXC. And then finally, DSX. This is my monster one right now. I bought some puts back up in here. I believe about 7 puts. And right now I'm up, I think it's 500% on them. I'm about January contracts on this one. I'm just killing it right now. But today was up 2%. I really don't think that this thing's going to bounce at all, but if it does, I'll get out. You can see the RSI's pretty low, curled up a little bit here today. The RMI is still flatlining it down there, nearly at 0. So this really this company stinks so bad. I'm just going to hold it through January and just clean up on it, I think. So, okay, so those are pretty much some of the 200 bottom, the worst stocks out there on the markets, and I've already gone over some of the recent picks I had. And again, each morning, if I got a good list of picks, I post them in invest feed in the mornings, ones I'm watching. And then when I go to play them, I'll get on there and I'll say, hey, I'm into this. Some of these I already have positions that I currently hold. If you go to my portfolio, you'll see in there my trading history, and you'll see a lot of them I've already owned. And so I'm just adding new positions. And those sometimes when I sell, I'm just removing positions. I'm not selling everything out. But you can get a look at all that. And so, okay, so here's also a few that I'm playing right now. This is I have a different system I'm working on right now. And some of these are a product of that. I got into CenturyLink here, bought some puts back up in here. About December 27 puts. So I'm just in the money on them. I'm just about my profit point here. I think it's my break-even point is probably right about 26, 25, somewhere in here. But looking good on it, and I own that. Just fill through here another 10, 11 days. So I better do something with that. If this thing is going to break down some more, will be great. If it takes off, then I will sell for a small loss on that one. Next, I have TKR. TKR, we're doing really good on this one. I bought this one back in here. Yeah, where my red line is. Bought some puts. I bought some January 32 $50 puts. Yeah. Pulled back. Wasn't exactly where I wanted to be. I was in the money, just barely on that, and it bounced back. And I'm like, it kind of got away from me. And I felt I had some time. I was just hoping we weren't going to make new highs. If we're going to make new highs, I have to take a heck of a loss. By that point, it'd be like a 75% loss, if not more. But just here this last couple weeks, last week here, it hit this same level and then of course just broke down. And you look today down 4%, and it broke down just where we want to go. Now we're finding new lows. See, this low here is lower than this one. So let's see if we can come on down to the 28 area, 928. We'll do really well on that one. And again, that's a January contract on that one. So we definitely have time. So now it's looking at 40 more days. So it gives us time. This thing may come all the way down here to 26. That I would love. I already talked about DSX. There's a DSX. EWJ was a technical setup on one of my systems that I've been playing with. And it's, you can see this is the iShares for Japan ETF. And I bought in somewhere over here. Hasn't really done much. You can see it's all over the place, but we're now starting to roll over a bit. And I do have a January contract on that. So my box, essentially, I have to about this area for it to hit the box. So I would like to see that. Next up, let me jump on into MRO. Okay, same thing here. You kind of got this descending triangle, this kind of wedge pattern. Where did I buy? I don't have my mark where I bought, but I bought some puts. I bought some January 16 puts. Yeah. Well, you can see here in the last week, this thing finally broke down from this area. You see it never broke above the 100-day moving average, kind of bounced off it, broke through the 50-day and just took a crap after that. So we're in the money on this one, and I have this again till January. It's another 44 days, and I'm hoping to see some good profits out of that. Next, what I did, I'll show you really quick. I've been getting in and out a lot quicker, more on the intraday, not intraday, but more on just a kind of a really short swing trade, for a day or two on commodities, silver and gold. I've played this silver and gold a couple of times up and down. Right now, what I'm holding is some silver calls. I had some silver calls back here, did good here, bought some puts. I sold them early. And what I've been doing is I don't trade silver and gold a lot, commodities much. And I've been just taking my profits when I have them just at the end of the day. And sometimes it's not really good because it could gap down or gap up in my favor. But I'm just unsure, it's just, I'm kind of playing around a little bit, not a lot of money, but I'm taking my profits a lot quicker. And I'm really learning how quickly it is, how easy it is to start building up your account. You take the profits when you have them. And you know what? It's the end of the day. Even though you think it's going to go up again tomorrow, we'll get back in tomorrow, because if you're wrong, you're wrong. And my account's growing a lot faster just by taking profits when I hit my profit target, take it. I can always get back in tomorrow if I want to. And oftentimes you don't want to the next day because the market's going to be in the opposite direction and you'll end up losing that profit that you had. So that's just down to a choice and the missed opportunity. Well, I'd take that any day than losing out on money. Okay, so here's silver. I don't really have an opinion on silver just yet. Don't really trade it much. But technically, I can see we come down here, starting to base a bit. We got this pop out of it. Of course, I was hoping to get more of a pop. It didn't. It pulled back. We'll see where we go. We can come right back down to the 13.3 level here. Yeah, I'm not going to buy any more puts here. I'm going to let this do its thing. I have January calls on this one. Not a lot of money, but we'll see what it does. Next, I'm into gold, GLD. Same thing. I've bought gold calls and puts like 4 times in the last week. And it have done well daily. I think today is the first day in 4 days of me playing it right out of the gate in the morning and closing by the end of the day on the dominant direction that we're definitely in pre-market and at the opening, and finishing with a profit each day. So even just making a few $100 every morning, just quickly. Today was about even on it, but we'll see what we do tomorrow. So here's gold, GLD. This is what I've been playing. And then finally we have USO. Okay, USO. We've been killing it on this one. This is the United States Oil Fund. I've been playing this several times. We pretty much played this run all the way down. As you can see, we failed to make new highs over here. We had a big red day here. We closed down here at the moving average. I think that's where I bought my puts, was here. Missed this little gap. Yeah, because I bought the next morning, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, got to play this down, and that's where we're at right now. When I got down here to the blue line at the support level, about 1244, I did buy some calls. Not a lot, but I do have some calls, January calls, and I also have puts. So what else am I in? I think that's all I'm in. So you can see I keep pretty busy with this, playing around a lot, but that's where we're at with the market. So even though I haven't been on the website for a bit and making videos all the time because I've been gone and busy, I'm still here, I'm still trading. And the best way to follow me is over at InvestFeed. And I'll show you over at InvestFeed here in a second. Let me change the sharing there. And then I'll stand by here. We'll find it. And where are we? Okay, stand by. I'm turning it on. And I'll show you the InvestFeed, what it looks like here. All right. Okay, here you are. Screen share. Here's InvestFeed. Okay, so here's InvestFeed. So pretty much this is it. So it kind of looks like a kind of a mix between a Facebook and a StockTwits kind of a thing. I like it. It's not too noisy. You get a lot of people on here who really know what they're talking about. It's not just a bunch of pumpers and dumpers and scammers and pretty much everybody on here, the ones that I see, are really providing some really good insight on and good explanations on what they're doing and why and their trades. And some of these guys just have outstanding track records. And you can go on there, and this is what you can do: is you can go on there and see. And you can watch all their trades live as they make them, and they explain why. Some of them post videos every day. Some of them do a lot. Some of them are here all day. Really depends what you're looking for. I've been playing mostly short lately. A lot of them are playing long, regardless what the market's doing. They're still going long. But you can pretty much find your strategy you're looking for, and it's really best to go on here and ask around, start talking to people, ask them what their strategies are, take a look at what their holdings are, what they're doing. But yeah, it's a pretty good group. But so I've been posting everything over here. As you can see, look at this over here. I'm ranked number 1 somehow. So we've been doing pretty well. Again, this is primarily because of positions have taken on the short side. You can see a lot of the positions I've opened lately are all on the downside. Looking up here at the stats, what we're currently holding right now on actual closed sales, we've had 174 winning trades, 17 losing trades, and 2 break evens. So that gives us 90% accuracy, and the average gain per trade is 20.9% per trade. We have 174 of those. Average hold time 43 days. And then over here is the unrealized. This is what we're holding. This is what I've bought that I've not sold yet. So right now we already have 300 that are winning, 100 that are losing. So that's 75% accuracy. And just the ones I haven't even sold yet are averaging, all 300, 400 of them are averaging 3.5%. So we're smoking good over here right now. So, and you come over here and you can check out the ratings. You can check out the everything we're holding, everything we've bought and sold, entry, outlook, entry date, exit date, sale price, the status of the purchase, current price, realized gain, unrealized gain. So, it goes all the way back. So here's my most recent, as you can see here. So here, just on December 7th, so you got into DSX, bearish on USO. That gave us 2.5%. Look at TREX. TREX in one day, 24.4% on the downside. CN, just 1%. SGY, 2 days from the 7th to the 8th. That's today. There's 22% you could have gained. CNX, 2 days, you could have gained 12%. And it goes on and on and on. So again, these are playing these on the downside. There's DSX again. Since the 2nd of December, 12%. LNG, November 30th, 10.5%. So I'll show you some of the winners. Got some good winners got some good winners on here. So you can see some of these we've been holding since July. NES, look at that. We're up 79% on this one. This is just the stock. This isn't even playing options. I mean, this is just straight up stocks. Imagine playing the options on this. I have. I mean, a lot of these, I'm not holding them that long, of course, on the options, but start playing these options and boy, you're holding hundreds of shares. Oh, look at GEVO. Look at that today. Down 35%. Oh. So now we're up 59% on that one since July. So that's good. Anyways, come on over and check it out. And you can see everything about us. So, all right, everybody. Well, that's the update for tonight. We're going here almost an hour. I'll be trying to make more videos again. I'll make them shorter and sweeter next time. I will focus on more of the premium, or not the premium picks, but on the picks I'm looking for each and every day. A lot of them will be short. We'll be watching the market. I will keep them short and sweet. And I want to thank you for subscribing. If you have any questions, you can reach me at topflighttrades@gmail.com, or you can come over to the website, topflighttrades.com. But most easily, you can find me over at InvestFeed, or you can find me over at StockTwits. You can find me over also on Facebook and Twitter, LinkedIn. We're pretty much all over the place. So come find us, come say hello, and hope to meet you sometime. So, all right, let me close out this window. I think it's done. Here. Where's my camera? All right, there we go. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks a lot for watching. This is Eric from Top Flight Trades. We'll keep in touch and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Have a good night.